Welcome to the Mind and Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, NBA Playoff Edition. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast. We recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games, previous day, in the playoffs. Forgot that part. How are you, Ja?
I'm cool. A little bit of a near bodily fluid incident, but hey, I'm recovered.
Well, that's good to hear. 1,000 times better than me still. Could have been in the bathroom for 10 hours. Still would have been doing better than me. A lot of basketball action from last night, and unfortunately, 3 teams have been sent home and eliminated from this year's playoffs. First, let's go in Philadelphia. The Washington Wizards going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. No Joel Embiid, and it looked good for Wizards for a good first half. You know, they kept it competitive. You know, they were staying within it.
Yeah,
they're fighting for their playoffs lives. You know, but Ben Simmons.
I'm not a scorer.
Listen, man. Ben Simmons was great last night. He played phenomenal. Triple-double on the night. Had 19 points. He was aggressive when he needed to be. A playmaker when he needed to be. It was a great switch of the both. It was great versatility of the both, showing his skill set, and it was showing what he was able to do.
Yeah.
And really, it was the second half of the Sixers that really helped them. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, the only Curry in this year's playoffs, and he's been balling out this entire first round.
Yeah.
Doing it again. Seth Curry, who had 30, his brother's number, by the way. Yeah, Steph Curry is now his brother.
Yeah.
Great bench production. I mean, the bench has been spectacular for the Sixers. In this first round, Tyrese Maxey, Dwight Howard, Korkmaz. I mean, this team is just they're loaded. You know, they're a great team, and with Westbrook struggling again. I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, be careful, casuals. You about to step into some territory with Westbrook. And Westbrook is pissed. I already know about the popcorn incident. Don't do nothing to get on his bad side now. But yeah, man. Again, what I talk about with Ben Simmons, this one thing I always talk about with this Philadelphia team when it comes to him and Joel, right? Is like when they're not playing with each other, like say if one is out for injury or rest or whatsoever, and the other one is just playing, like, you know, you always see their talents on full display, but you see how, like, even by themselves, how sometimes they could help out their team big time when the one is not playing with the other whatsoever. And that's what you see here with Ben Simmons. I see many times where Ben Simmons would, like, you know, take over the game from so many aspects when he's not playing with Joel Embiid and help the team win. That's how talented Ben Simmons is. And that's the reason why I stress to him so much about the fact of being aggressive, because it feels like at times he has that on and off switch, but at times, in my opinion, it will be off, in which, like, you know, he will still do everything, but he does it nonchalantly. Like he doesn't really, I'm not gonna say he doesn't really care, but it's like as if it's so easy to him. It's like he got nothing to worry about. He's gonna be fine. And when they get the L, then of course we're gonna be on him. But this game, he showed up. He was like, I don't want to go to no more. No, I don't want this team to win. I don't want to go to no game 6 back on their home floor or whatsoever. we ended this game here now. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and that's what we did. Triple double, doing everything, facilitating, scoring, diming. Like he setting up his teammates. He was just doing everything. He was just doing everything. Especially defensively too. Wow, how did that score the fact of his defense, a defensive candidate this year? So you just got to give him a lot of credit for what he has done, and he had a great game tonight. And hey, he can have a triple double, but the only way you can get a triple double is if your teammates are contributing. And just like what you said, everyone contributed. Steph Curry, Tobias Harris, the bench, Dwight Howard, Tyrese Maxey, all those guys, they all made sure that they did their role in order to secure this win. For the Wizards, it was a good season. It was
good second half.
Good second half. It was kind of tough in the beginning, really tough. Like
that's really so. Overall, I would say they underachieved. I mean, when you have Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, and you barely make the playoffs, you finish the season under 500.
Yeah,
that's an underachieving year. But we look at this Wizards team in terms of their second half, because in the second half of the season they played a lot better.
Yeah, they played the way that we thought we would see.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, here's one good thing, real quickly. They won the trade. I'm just saying.
Listen, man. Sure.
They won the trade.
They won the trade. I really wish Westbrook played a lot better in this series.
Yeah,
because he was really struggling from the field.
Yeah.
Gotta give credit to Sixers defense; they played well. Bradley Beal had some good games, and even though he put up 32 points, he was kind of struggling shooting.
Yeah,
it was a little bit off and on, Rui Hachimura, he played great. I really liked his play throughout the series, but they needed to hit their shots. They needed a lot more 3-point shooting. I mean, that was trying to struggle throughout the whole series, and then in a game that he didn't struggle in, which he played well in, he got hurt.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Wizards, they underachieved this year. They had a great second half. Russell Westbrook, he finally did his thing in that second half. I mean, of course, amazing season for him, becoming Mr. Triple-Double. Bradley Beal, an amazing season for him individually. As for this team, I don't know. They might have to move on from Scott Brooks. We'll see what happens from their future.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make some changes tomorrow because they were already another team that made some changes right after their playoff loss. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But as for the Sixers, I mean, in the series, Sixers are just a way better team.
Yeah.
A way better team. I mean, the Sixers are possible championship contenders. They could possibly win the championship this year. And the Wizards, a team that just barely made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it. But you got to give credit to the Sixers team pulling out this win and playing well this entire series and this year. Also getting this win without Embiid.
Yes. Yes.
And now they will move on to the second round, eliminating the Washington Wizards. And they will move on to face not them. The Atlanta Hawks, that is right. In the Garden last night, Game 5, pivotal winner, go home for the Knicks. They battled the Atlanta Hawks. And man, I just want to say the Knicks are a terrible defensive rebounding team. A terrible defensive rebounding team. I've been saying it this whole year, especially in late situations and big moments. They are a terrible defensive rebounding team. Terrible one.
That's surprising though, for a defensive team to be terrible at defensive rebounding. That's it's kind of shameful, in my opinion.
I mean, another guy on this team just said they're gonna come to your home floor and send you off vacation, and he did that. And Clint Capella played great last night. Clint Capella played great the entire series.
Yeah.
Dominating on the boards, dominating on the defensive end. Anytime, just block. I mean, he was a go-to lob pass lob catcher.
Catcher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lob catcher for
Recipient.
Trae Young. Him and along with John Collins. I mean, and John Collins played grade 2 in this series, even after the slow start a bit in the first 2 games. But yeah, it was the Knicks' defensive rebounding, them not being able to really hit shots. Julius Randle's poor play all throughout this first round. It wasn't looking good for him. Most improved player of the year, you know, you got to come into the playoffs and you got to prove that you're the best player on the team.
Yeah.
And you just nothing. It's nothing from him.
Oh man.
You know, I mean, he shot less than 40% throughout the entire series. He never shot over 40%. He was inefficient, turned the ball over at certain points, bad decision making sometimes. Also, I would have liked if they changed up the game plan because you know they had to go ISO ball. But that allows for the Hawks' defense to set, so it has to be a lot more ball movement.
Exactly.
But the Knicks didn't do that. Even though Derrick Rose was the best player for the Knicks this year, I mean this playoff series. No,
Yeah.
you needed Julius Randle to step up, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And in this game, with like we've said all season, their defense gets cold, their offense gets cold.
Yeah.
They cannot compete. When you got them boys, just scoring at will like they did in that third quarter, and in that third quarter and in that fourth quarter. There's not much you can do.
Exactly.
Especially with the way you've been playing in terms of what happens when that team goes on a streak, when that team goes on a run. You can't do anything on offense.
Yeah.
You go cold.
It's tough, man. This has to be a big learning point for Randle because this is his first ever time being in the playoffs, I believe. I don't think he ever made the year before that.
This is his first time in the playoffs.
Yeah. And for some are able to come through, while others sometimes it wasn't tough for him. He was still fighting and bouncing. It's just like, you know, things just don't go your way sometimes. And it really is like that. There's been certain players who, like, you know, who come in who are ready for it and everything, or like already have it going for them. And while there's some players who need time to adjust, and especially against the gameplay situation, because again, in the playoffs, you're focusing on one team for 7 straight games. Your game plan is to plan around them to find their ways to stop their strengths and limit their strengths in order to, like, you know, expose their weakness in order for things to get better. And even though this was his opportunity, I think I'm not gonna say again the defense. I think the Hawks defense, the way they played against him, kind of got to him in a way, because best player again, and the Knicks not being that fast of a team and stuff like that. I just think that you said it, Clint Capella, his defense, and then you got along with the fact that a Hawks who are not really a defensive team, but their communication defensive.
Yes. They played amazing defense this series. Amazing defense this series.
Exactly. When you got all that going for you and you take the star player out, it's just like what you said. Derrick Rose was the best player in this series. And he needed Randle. And unfortunately, Randle just got froze out, man. And, like, you know, and it's tough.
Also, RJ Barrett, he didn't play well either.
Yeah.
He struggled out series. Now, that's your 2 top scorers.
Yeah.
You cannot win a playoff series with your 2 top scorers struggling.
Exactly.
That's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
I thought this was 7, but I thought this would go in game 7. But hey, I guess they shot.
Well, yeah, I thought this was gonna be a closer series than it was. But the Knicks, just when the Hawks got on their run, they could never stop them.
Yeah.
And that's what it's really been for the past 3 games. Is the Knicks are not having an answer when the Hawks go on their runs, or stopping the Hawks when they go on their runs. So that's how they lost all 3 games, and they lost all 3 games in that second half, mainly in that third quarter.
Yeah. The most important part.
That's what happened. But I'm not. I would have thought that I would have been more upset than I am.
You can't be, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about. I'm not upset. Um, as upset. I am upset, but not as what I thought. Because let me talk to my Knicks fans here.
Yeah.
The Knicks weren't supposed to be here. We were supposed to be a lottery pick. Wasn't even supposed to touch the play-in. Nobody saw this team stepping up the way they did. Nobody saw Tom Thibodeau having this team playing the way they did. Nobody saw the likes of Julius Randle in the regular season playing the way he did. RJ Barrett's improvement. Emmanuel quickly coming out of nowhere. Our trade of getting D Rose and him absolutely balling out, playing well. This was just a huge shock. Along with Reggie Bullock and Alec Burks and the rest of the squad can't forget them. Reggie Bullock's played great in Game 5 from last night. So, yes, Knicks fans, we all wanted to win. We all wanted to play our series win.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to look at this as a learning curve or whatever. Learning opportunity. Especially for the guys on this team. See, most of them guys on this team never been to playoffs.
Yeah.
Our star players, RJ and Randle, it's the first time they've been in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And with us over-delivering, the Knicks over-delivering, them playing great all throughout the year, you can only, be grateful and be happy for what's to come in the future, or hopefully what's to come in the future.
Yeah. And hey, don't forget, you guys were missing a key piece in your team.
Mitchell Robinson, that's right.
Mitchell Robinson. I felt like
that
was the equalizer. Exactly. That one been the equalizer for Clint Capella, in my opinion, if he was playing in this series. And hey, I'm not saying that one been the difference maker or anything, but that would have helped out a lot, obviously.
Yeah, I agree. That would have helped out a lot. I don't know if that would have been a difference maker, but it would have been hard to tell. But yes, it would have helped out a lot. So yeah, Knicks, it was a great season. It was a great year. We over-delivered. Wasn't even supposed to be in the playoffs, but we got there, played hard. Tom Thibodeau did a great job. Got to give credit to him. And Julius Randle, even though he struggled in the first playoff year, so let's not give up on him. Because Knicks fans sure like to give up on players quickly. Let's not give up on him. And let's hope to see what's happening in the offseason, what we do in terms of the free agency, draft, and what's to come the next season. So it was a great year for the Knicks and for Knicks fans. So be grateful and be happy.
And don't spit on people.
Yeah, don't spit on people. But all right, we talked enough about the Knicks and they are the losers. Let's talk about the winners and the Hawks. Nate McMillan, the job that he did in this series was exceptional. Exceptional. The way he played Randall was exceptional. The way he had the Hawks playing in terms of their three-point shooting and their possessions and their plays that they had drawn up was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta give credit to Nate McMillan. He's been great for the Hawks. The exact second that he got the head coaching job when Lloyd Pierce got fired. You can just see the difference. It was really like night and day. He brought out the potential in this Hawks team. Clint Capella has been amazing this year, and he was amazing in this first round against the Knicks. Trae Young, I mean, with a whole bunch of 15,000 New Yorkers saying F you, and you come out there and shush them. By the way, we're booing the hell out of you next year. But you just gotta respect that. Yeah, you want to take a bow, but you gotta respect that. You gotta respect that. And you can see that he's taking his play to another level. You can see that he's a different type of player than he was last year. And everybody's been talking about it. He's trying to be like Steph Curry, everybody used to say he's trying to be like Steph Curry, shooting these deep threes. But now he's smart. He knows how to draw fouls. He's a tremendous playmaker. This series really proved how great of a playmaker he is.
No, it's bad basketball.
What?
It's bad basketball.
Well, when he tried to foul bait, yeah. but he's tremendous playmaker. He's tremendous finisher inside. I mean, his floater game is crazy. Gotta give credit to these shooters that the Hawks got. You know, DeAndre Hunter, Bogdanovich, John Collins in the second part of this series was great.
Yeah.
Kevin Herter, like all of these guys, Lou Williams as well, of course. Gotta give credit to this Hawks team. They are a dangerous team, and they proved that in this first round. And now they're moving on, beating the Knicks, and going to face the one-seeded Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers better watch out. They can get Paul Atkin.
Yes, they can. Yes. And I just want to go real quickly. I just want to give a shout out to Trae Young for you because you just said it on the head. He took his game to another level. He embraced the world of being the bad guy in this series because, like, you know, that's how Knicks viewed him and violated him all the way. And he violated them right back. And he did it in the Garden. Let's talk about it. Do you know how many times? Do you know the history of people talking about playing in the Garden and how tough it could be? How tough it is to play in the Garden? And this dude did things that not many people could do. He showed out in the Garden. Well, actually, a lot of people could do, depending on who you're looking at. Like, you know,
depending on who you're looking at.
It depends on who you're looking at. Like, if we talking about MJ Brown and them, then
but how many third-year players in their first playoff run can do what he did?
Not many. You got to be really special to do what he did.
After a pandemic, with fans back in the arena playing against the Knicks, who haven't been to the playoffs in 8 years.
Yeah.
The way he shut down the crowd that he did, the way he played, the way he did, that's exceptional.
Yeah. Getting spit on, too. That's crazy.
While getting spit on.
Trae is balding.
Yep. But now those boys going to face the number 1 seed. And yeah, Knicks fans, we want Brooklyn. Well, you can see them in the second round. Idiots. And finally, the last team to get eliminated. The 8th seeded Memphis Grizzlies. And yeah, the Jazz had this game from start to finish.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say, really.
Yeah, this game, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, 26 points in the first half.
He dusted them up.
Amazing. I mean, the 3-point shooting, they just had it. You know, and yeah, the Jazz, ever since that first game when they had shot poorly from deep, haven't been the same since.
Yeah. And if you look at that game, let's be honest. When Memphis won that game, let's be honest, they won by 3. They won by 3, I believe, right?
In game 1?
Yeah, in game 1.
Yes.
They won by 3, and that was Utah's off night. If that's an off night for Utah, then I think the rest of the series just show. Okay, they did have a game. They did have game 3 in which, like, you know, the Memphis Memphis was fighting this whole series, but they did have that game 3 in which Memphis did have that near comeback in which they could have potentially took that, but outside of that, man. If that was a struggling game for the Jazz in game 1, the way that they played throughout this whole series just shows you why they're the number 1 team and why, in all aspects of the game, why they're really like top 5 best at it in the league. From offense, defense, 3-point shooting, scoring, facilitating, defensively, like they just had it going on. And man, they again, inexperience versus experience. When it was time to close out this game, which they did from the jump, they took the heart. They took the heart of the Memphis team.
Yes, this Jazz team in this series, they proved that they can. Well, not to me and not to you because we've been talking about it. They can win in so many different ways.
Yeah,
they won in close games. They come from behind in that game, which was game 4. Again, game 3.
Game 3, yeah.
Yeah, in which they went on a 10-0 run.
Yeah.
They could close out quarters, and they can win in blowouts and dominate like they did in this game. Exactly. I mean, everybody had it clicking. 6th man of the year, Jordan Clarkson. Donovan Mitchell, with his return in this series, and has been balling ever since. Mike Conley, you know, going up against his former team. doing all he can do. Rudy Gobert, Royce O'Neal, Bogdanovich. I mean, it was everybody. Everybody played great.
Yeah.
Everybody played exceptional in this Game 5 to close out this series and eliminate the Memphis Grizzlies. But of course, got to give credit to my surprise team, the Memphis Grizzlies. Listen, Grizzlies, all respect to them. Like 1,000% all respect to them. All respect. They, they came in playing tournament, went up against the Spurs, beat them in a very close game. Dylan Brooks having that great performance on offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
Then you go, because they're the 9th seed. You have to win 2 games to get in the playoffs. They won that game. Then they go to Golden State. Steph Curry, the hottest man on earth, and these Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And the way they played, even though they almost gave up the lead late, the way they played, I mean, Ja Morant has been exceptional. He's been exceptional. Grayson Allen with the best year so far of his career. Desmond Bane, Jonas Valanciunas, an amazing year that he's had in the Grizzlies, looking like what he's been on the Raptors, like we've always said. Beating that Golden State team in overtime with an amazing game. Then coming in Game 1 against the number 1 seed, and yeah, they didn't have Donovan Mitchell, but they maintained the number 1 seed for over a month without Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
So the way they upset them in this Game 1 and the way they played and fought every single game, no matter what the deficit was, no matter how much they were down, the integrity, the intensity, the heart that they have, it was just amazing to see this Grizzlies team. And so I got to give them all the credit in the world. Yes, they lost in this first round, but we all knew that this Jazz team is just too good. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. This Grizzlies team really shouldn't even be here, but I, surprise, picked them. So, I mean, to the point where I went against them. That's how good that surprise was. It surprised me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to give all the credit. Taylor Jenkins did a great job as head coach. Ja Morant proving that he's going to be a superstar if he's not already. Yeah. I love the way he plays. Dylan Brooks proving that he's going up there. He's a budding superstar. Jonas Valanciunas, the way he's been playing, double machine. JJJ, Jaren Jackson Jr., coming back from injury, getting this team going on. Grayson Allen, I mean, I want to give credit to everyone.
Yeah, hell yeah. Man. A future in the making for this team, for sure. A future in the making. Where they came out, like they have everything, they have all their pieces. They have the players, they have the coach, they have the confidence, they have the mentality and everything. Again, they're still the grindhouse. It may be the new generation, but they're still the grindhouse. You know what I mean? They play with that grit and intensity whenever they want. And the only thing I could truly and honestly say, well, they did 10 times better than my surprise team. I could tell you that for a fact. In so many aspects.
Yep. So yeah,
I give all of my love and respect to that Memphis Grizzlies team. They did their thing.
But unfortunately, this is the end of the road for them as they have been eliminated, and the Jazz will move on to the second round and will face the winner of the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks series. Speaking of that, the big Game 5 from last night, the last game to talk about, and Luka Doncic, the Undertaker. Just trying to dig a grave in Staples Center for this Clippers team. Came out hooping, came out balling. They couldn't stop him.
Let me tell you something. This is a little boy disrespecting the OGs, the grown men, his older generation. He's just disrespecting them. You know how they talk about rebellious and stuff like that, how you got to go against the OG? Well, that's what he's doing. He's really like spitting on them, smacking the hell out of them, like, you know, punching them, trying to kill them. Like, he's really pulling out the gun now. This is where he's pulling out his gun, ready to shoot. Cock back and aim.
Yeah. I mean, my God. Luka Doncic. 22 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He's 22. A superstar already, without a doubt.
He's supposed to be graduating college.
Yes. Hey, Clipper killer. Just, I mean, come on. Big game 5, and he drops 40. Drops 40 on them with 14 assists, doing it all. You know, he was the driving force of this team. He was getting everybody going. He was getting the buckets. He's just, I don't know what else to say about this man. There's nothing else to say about this man. He's just amazing.
There really isn't.
And even though the Clippers stuck within it a little bit in that first half, that third quarter, Luka just took over. And the Mavs just took over.
And obviously, in both of our opinions, I feel like you'll go with this. That's what killed the Clippers in the end of this. No matter how much they came back in the fourth, that third quarter was that third quarter is what most definitely put them in this hole. Like, you know, nigga was slicing the dice and toying up with the whole defense. It was just so disrespectful. And then you got the fact that Hardaway, who had to bounce back. And then you got all these other guys. And it's just like, yo, I'm done, yo. I'm done. So,
I mean, it was exactly like it's that third quarter was big time. And even though the Clippers got back and Paul George did play well, you know, Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, who hit 2 big shots, we're gonna get into it. But then the Mavericks with Porzingis and Hardaway hitting 2 big threes to extend the lead by 10 with about 2 minutes remaining, I believe.
Yeah.
It looked like all hope's done. Reggie Jackson hits a 3. Marcus Morris hits a 3.
Yeah.
Now they're back in it. And they're playing great defense now. Because also, by the way, the Mavericks played great defense this game too. I wanted to get that in there. The Mavericks played great defense, especially in that run in that third quarter and when they extended the lead by 10 in the fourth. But Clippers got back, got within 1, gets a steal. Terrence Mann gets a steal. PG has the ball, and I'm just so weirded out by this possession. Gives it to Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann goes into the paint, drives. Looks like he has a good opportunity for a little reverse layup. Instead, passes it to Batum, who looks like he has an opportunity to hit the layup, and he misses. And we gotta get to that play in a minute. I just want to go through what happened to the rest of the game. The Mavericks get the rebound, they foul. Clippers still have opportunity to tie the game. Call timeout. Inbound. Kawhi takes a terrible shot. But I mean, I don't know what was that even a play? In that case, Kawhi should have came off. When he came off and caught the ball, he should have just shot it immediately. Instead, he pump faked, waited, took a contested 3, Dorian Finney-Smith right in his face. Contested 3, and obviously airballs it. I mean, there's a man right in front of you. I don't know what was that up. I don't know what was up with that. Misses it. Mavericks get the ball, and that's game. And the Clippers lose this game. I just want to talk about real quickly, going back, not to the 3-point play, even though that was terrible. The play with Terrence Mann. It was so many things wrong that I don't know what to say. Okay. I don't know how I feel about your 2-star players not getting an opportunity to, you know, go ahead and get the game winner for you or get the go-ahead basket for you. Kawhi and PG. PG has the ball, and I'm fine with PG. Terrence Mann, he had a good lane to finish. So okay, but I just had to say that. And then so Terrence Mann, I mean, you have a good opportunity. If you're gonna go all the way, that like just lay the ball up.
I'm just like, wait, why did you pass it? Why did you? Oh.
And maybe and that's what we'll go back to. Maybe your star players would have made a better decision.
Exactly.
So maybe it should have been left in PG and Kawhi's hands. Maybe PG shouldn't have passed it. Maybe Kawhi should have came and got it. I don't know. But Terrence Mann, I mean, and maybe he probably knows it too, because he kind of looked frustrated after that. Probably knew that he should have just laid it up.
Like that was such a great defensive play. You get a steal.
You're down by one. This your opportunity.
Exactly.
That great comeback from the threes of Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris. I mean, you have that layup. Just go for the layup. But if you're gonna drive all the way and jump, just go for the layup.
Exactly. All right, fine. Even though we will be a little bit pissed if it rims out, it rims out. If the layup rims out, it rims out. There's nothing you could do about it, right? But you didn't even try to. You paused the mid-air thinking you was MJ, talking about should I lay it up? Should I pass? What should I do?
Yeah, should I dunk it? Should I finger roll? Oh wait, wrong.
Exactly.
Wrong,
and that all it's just like you forgot, and then you came to realization that you're nowhere near MJ, and then you just pass out some dumb stuff, and then it's like.
And Batum has a good look. I mean, but he's surrounded a little bit and he misses. But I don't know about Vic Batum and Terrence Mann taking your final, having the say so. That's what I mean in terms of Paul George and PG. I mean, that's
Well, that was a godsend for the Mavericks.
Yes.
Anybody else but them, huh?
I mean, hey.
Well, you heard what I said last episode. I said I don't care if they go to a game 7, but you already know what I said last episode. Yep. Sayonara, Clippers. I switched up. I'm gonna stick to it, even if they decide to win because they want to do some dumb stuff. I switched up. Mavs all the way.
Yes.
Hey, but they already messed up, man. It's not my fault.
The Clippers fall to the Mavericks as the home team has not won a game in this series. And the Mavericks get 3 straight wins in Los Angeles.
Yep. And well, Dallas ain't gonna make what happened at their home floor happen again. Just know that.
That's your opinion. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Luka and these Mavericks are looking to close it out come Friday and move on to face the Jazz in the second round. Wow, but what a performance by the Mavericks. What a performance by Luka. That man is dangerous. He's dangerous.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If they don't advance, let's be honest, just real quickly. If they do advance, the Jazz better have some kind of game plan around Luka. Just that should be the main focus. If the Mavericks win this series, that should be the main focus because it's gonna be real tough to stop a dude named Luka Doncic who's just disrespecting the team's defenses like that.
Well, let's hold on to that. Hold on to those thoughts.
All right,
the series ain't over yet.
All the way they did that shit, it probably will be.
Even if the Clippers are disappointing, but the Undertaker, Luka Doncic, with an amazing performance, winning this game, helping win this game for the Mavericks, and now, like I said, one win away. All right. Before we get to predictions, news. Did you hear the news, John?
Nah, I wasn't able to hear it. What's up? Talk to me.
Well, just one day removed out of the Celtics getting eliminated from the first round by the Nets. In a shocking turn of events, Danny Ainge has decided to step down as president of basketball operations, and Brad Stevens will be moving to step up as president of basketball operations.
Wow.
No more Danny Ainge in Boston, and the Celtics now need a new head coach. So Brad Stevens will be the president. Only a day. Wow. Wow. I mean, what'd you think about the move? What'd you think about the decisions?
Wow. Well, I'm not really intelligent when it comes to these things about like, general managers and stuff like that. But let's admit it, as much as probably Danny Ainge has done some shady things, he has also did a lot of great things for this organization, for that Celtics organization, in terms of building up continuing the winning culture and tradition of the Celtics way.
Yep, the draft picks as well.
The
Just absolutely robbing the Nets.
Exactly.
But, someone said it came full circle, like Shakespeare, like some Shakespeare book, because the Nets eliminated him. The Nets eliminated Celtics, and now he's stepping down.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And just the things he have done to try to help out this organization has been amazing. Brad Stevens, a really good head coach, to see how he does in his replacement. But the thing is now, the question is, who will they find? Will they find the right fit? Yeah.
Yeah. There's some good candidates out there.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think I like the change. Yeah. The Celtics, they just got to keep acquiring good talent because I believe in their system. I mean, they have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Got Kemba Walker through free agency. So, I mean, I know they can acquire talent. Also, Marcus Smart through the draft years ago. So, but, Eastern Conference Finals 3 out of 4 years. Something has to change for you to get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? And this year was a little bit different because they underachieved. But maybe the changes in a few years, maybe we'll finally get to the finals. Who knows? We'll see. But I'll be interested to see what happens. Interested to see the new regime in Boston, as no more Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens moving out of the head coach position into the president position. But all right, predictions for tonight's set of games. 2 games on, big game 6s and win or go homes for 2 teams. First off, 8 o'clock TNT. The Denver Nuggets look to advance and close out this series against the Portland Trailblazers, looking to tie it up and force a game 7. Who do you have?
I look forward to hoping to see the Blazers tied up and make it a game 7.
I agree. And next of the doubleheader TNT 10:30, the Phoenix Suns look to eliminate the defending champions, LeBron James, in the first round and move on to the second round.
Yeah. Sorry, but I chose the Lakers, and I'm going to stick with them. I got the Lakers tying back up the series.
News about AD as well. Well, I just want to say I don't know whether he's playing. I think he will be playing. I think. Quote me on that. I think Chris Paul will be playing as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But yes, I don't count out Braun unless it's in the finals. But yeah, I got
2011 Dirt.
Come on. See, I just said finals. You had to go another step further.
Well, I'm just saying. Which one you say? 2015 Curry?
Oh, no, you say Andre.
Andre. Where to Andre?
He got finals MVP for holding LeBron to those numbers that was ridiculous. So I anyway, yeah, I got the Lakers.
Yeah.
I got the Lakers. Yep, no doubt, Braun. Game 6, Braun. But it should be interesting as both teams, both series, they will meet up. The winners will meet up. So,
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens. Will there be a Game 7
I hope.
in Denver and in Phoenix, or will the series end?
Yeah, man. Oh, when it I really feel like that this Blazers versus Nuggets series need to go to a Game 7. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it'll be like, for me, it will be kind of sad and disappointing if it ends tonight. It will be really sad and disappointing because I really need to see this in a Game 7. These teams are equally matched offensively, and they got two, in my opinion, MVP candidates. Even though Dame obviously isn't an MVP finalist, obviously he's still an MVP level player. Obviously, talk about the scoring eliteness of CJ and Michael Porter Jr. And they've been having a really good series up to probably just one bad game. Obviously, they both have throughout this series, and CJ's happened the last game, and Michael Porter Jr. happened I think game 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was 4. I think it was either 3 or 4. But that, and like, man, the offensive punch. Obviously, defensively, I think the Nuggets are a better defensive team than the Blazers. But the offensive punch, man, this needs to go to a Game 7. I just need to see it go to a Game 7. I hope and pray it happens. Please don't mess this up, Blazers.
Hey, we'll see. We will see what happens. All right, time to wrap things up. Oh, by the way, Conley got a hamstring injury. I forgot to mention that. I don't think it's that severe, but he obviously got to get checked out.
Yeah.
Important player for the Jazz. Don't want to see that happen, especially for him. Been in the league for so long. He want to play. So.
Well, man, he killed his former team.
He did kill his former team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot to mention that. Hopefully he gets well. Hopefully it's not serious. Doesn't put him out in action, so he can play for this Jazz team and help him get an opportunity for a chip.
Yeah.
But yeah. Final thoughts, Ja.
No, good job. Good luck to those teams that got eliminated. You know what I mean? Again, great season by the Knicks. Like, the moment KD and Kyrie come to New York, I guess y'all become great again. Y'all become the saviors, and people will respect y'all over them, which is warranted. But just things like that.
Well, you haven't heard. We won Brooklyn, so.
Hey man, we're gonna be celebrating Meadowlands. They know the vibes. But that and the Clippers are embarrassing. There we go. Fine.
Hey, well, you said good luck to the teams that got eliminated. I say good luck to the teams that advanced to the second round, increasing their chances and opportunities to get that coveted NBA championship and hold that finals trophy.
Yes.
But with that being said, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, give us feedback, support channel, all that good stuff.
And also follow our TikTok and our IG down in the description below.
Yes. And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
This is Mind of Basketball Podcast.
Playoff edition.
Playoff edition.